Hello, brother and sister. I want you to take a deep breath and think for a moment about the place where you rest every night. That very spot where your body lays down, where your thoughts slow, and where your spirit should find peace. Have you ever considered that something as simple as your bed, the place meant to restore you, could actually be holding you back from receiving the full measure of your blessings? Yes, sometimes the things we overlook become the very barriers between us and the health, peace, and clarity we pray for. Have you ever stopped to wonder what your bed says about you? That might sound strange at first, but take a moment to think about it. Your bed is the first thing you see when you wake up and the last thing you see before you fall asleep. It's where your body rests, your mind resets, and your spirit finds stillness. Yet many people overlook the power this one space holds over their overall health and well-being. The truth is, your bed is a mirror of your inner state. If it's cluttered, chaotic, or neglected, it often reflects the same energy happening within you. The way you treat your resting place reveals how much you value your peace. When your bed is disorganized or messy, it sends a message to your subconscious that your life is out of balance. Every wrinkle in the sheet, every pile of clothes, every unwashed blank, it becomes a silent signal of disorder that your brain absorbs without you even realizing it. This low-level stress lingers throughout the day, affecting your mood, focus, and productivity. You might wake up already feeling tired, even after hours of sleep, because your environment is not allowing your nervous system to relax fully. Your bed, which should be a sanctuary of healing, becomes a zone of tension. You can't pour from an empty cup, and you can't rest deeply in a space filled with chaos. Think about how your body reacts when you walk into a hotel room with crisp white sheets, neatly folded blankets, and a soft, inviting pillow. Instantly, your shoulders relax, your breathing slows, and your mind quiets. That reaction isn't coincidence, it's biology. Cleanliness and order tell your brain it's safe to rest. A clean bed reduces the body's cortisol levels, the stress hormone, and boosts serotonin and melatonin, the chemicals responsible for relaxation and good sleep. So, when you keep your bed clean, you're not just tidying up a space. You're regulating your entire body's stress response system. On the other hand, a cluttered bed is more than just an eyesore. It's a source of invisible pressure. When your bed is full of unnecessary items, gadgets, or unwashed linens, it disrupts your ability to rest deeply. Your mind remains half alert, scanning the environment for comfort it can't find. This leads to restless nights, shallow breathing, and even tension headaches. Over time, poor sleep contributes to weakened immunity, hormonal imbalance, and chronic fatigue. Many people seek healing in medicines and supplements when the real solution begins with something as simple as reclaiming their sleeping space. Your bed should represent peace, purity, and purpose. It should tell your body, you are safe here, you can rest now. When you wake up in a tidy, well-made bed, it gives you an instant sense of control and accomplishment. It tells your mind that you're starting the day organized, focused, and ready. Studies have shown that people who make their beds every morning are more productive and experience higher emotional stability. Why? Because order creates momentum. When your environment supports calm, your thoughts align with clarity, and your decisions flow more easily. There's also a spiritual element to this truth. The body and spirit are deeply connected. When your outer world is cluttered, it's a reflection of inner unrest. Your bed, as the most intimate space in your life, holds your personal energy. If it's neglected, that neglect seeps into your emotions and spiritual rhythm. But when you take time to care for your resting place, to smooth the sheets, air the pillows, change the covers, you are symbolically telling the universe that you value peace. You are declaring that you are ready to receive calm, healing, and restoration. Imagine this. You walk into your room at night, your bed smells fresh, the fabric is cool, the light is soft, and there's nothing on it except what belongs there. You sit down and exhale. In that moment, you are not just preparing for sleep. You are aligning your body, mind, and soul for renewal. That kind of environment invites deep rest and spiritual clarity. It allows you to release the day's burdens and wake up energized to face the next one. The difference between exhaustion and restoration often begins with the state of your bed. When it's clean and orderly, your brain associates that space with safety and serenity. It helps regulate your circadian rhythm, improves breathing patterns, and reduces nighttime anxiety. But when it's messy or overcrowded, your brain perceives that as unfinished business, keeping your thoughts alert and your sleep shallow. Every night, your body is trying to heal itself. Don't let an untidy environment fight against that process. So, take a good look at your bed tonight. Is it inviting peace or storing chaos? Is it welcoming healing energy or trapping exhaustion? The answer might explain why your mornings feel heavy and your nights restless. Don't underestimate the power of a well-kept resting space. Sometimes the breakthrough you need for better health, sharper focus, and emotional balance doesn't come from doing more, but from clearing what's already standing in your way. Your bed is not just a place to sleep. It's a reflection of your health, your mindset, and your readiness to receive peace. When you treat it as sacred, it will start to bless you back. Have you ever noticed how the atmosphere of your room changes the way you sleep? You might lie in bed for 8 hours, yet still wake up feeling exhausted, foggy, or emotionally drained. That's not always because of what's happening inside your body. It often has to do with what's happening around it. The space where you rest is not just a physical environment. It's an energetic one. The quality of your sleep and the strength of your healing are directly shaped by what surrounds you. Your bed is supposed to be your body's recharging station, but if that station is cluttered, noisy, or filled with distractions, you'll never experience the full power of rest your body and spirit are designed to receive. Sleep is more than closing your eyes. It's a sacred exchange between the mind and body. While you sleep, your brain reorganizes information, repairs tissue, strengthens your immune system, and restores emotional balance. But here's the secret most people overlook. Your body cannot fully heal in chaos. A noisy, messy, or energy-draining environment keeps your nervous system on alert, as if danger is still present. You may not realize it, but every light left on, every electronic device beside you, every pile of clothes in your line of sight keeps your brain partially awake. That's why you toss and turn. Your environment is whispering to your subconscious that it's not yet safe to rest. The human brain thrives on cues, and your sleeping environment gives it instructions. When your bed and surroundings are peaceful, your brain receives a message of safety. It slows your heart rate, regulates breathing, and allows deep healing to begin. But if your environment is cluttered or filled with digital noise, your brain receives the opposite message. Stay alert, stay ready, something's not right. Over time, this constant state of vigilance leads to stress, fatigue, and a weakened immune system. You wake up tired, your thoughts feel scattered, and you find yourself craving more caffeine just to function. The problem isn't your body, it's your environment stealing your recovery. Think about this. You would never charge your phone in a broken socket, yet many people are trying to recharge their bodies in a broken atmosphere. The body is designed to respond to its surroundings. Soft textures, cool temperatures, and darkness signal the body to release melatonin, the hormone that induces sleep. But bright screens, noise, and disorder flood your system with cortisol, the stress hormone, blocking the rest you desperately need. When you bring your phone, laptop, or TV into bed, you're confusing your brain, turning a space of rest into a space of stimulation. This mix sends conflicting messages to your nervous system, creating shallow, restless sleep cycles that prevent full restoration. Your bed should feel like a sanctuary, a place where your body knows it's time to let go. But in today's world, people have turned their bedrooms into mini living rooms, offices, and entertainment centers. They sleep next to glowing screens, piles of laundry, and unfinished tasks that silently remind them of everything they haven't done. That constant mental noise keeps the mind running even while the body tries to rest. To truly heal, you must reclaim your sleeping environment as a sacred zone of peace. Make it a rule that your bed is for rest, intimacy, and renewal, nothing else. When you honor that boundary, your body will reward you with deeper, more restorative sleep. There's also a powerful emotional side to this truth. Your environment carries memory, the energy of joy, anger, stress, or calm that you release in your space lingers. If your room often holds tension, arguments, or anxiety, it becomes harder to relax there. The atmosphere begins to mirror the emotions that have filled it. That's why refreshing your space, opening the windows, burning a gentle candle, changing the sheets, or saying a prayer of peace can instantly shift how your body responds to that environment. The air feels lighter, the mind feels calmer, and the spirit feels safe again. When your body enters deep rest, it begins its most miraculous work. Cells repair, hormones balance, and your immune system strengthens. Even your emotional resilience improves. Your ability to handle stress, make better decisions, and stay positive all come from how well your brain and body recover each night. A healthy environment supports this natural rhythm. It becomes a silent medicine, one that doesn't need to be swallowed or prescribed. Imagine walking into your bedroom tonight. The lights are soft, your sheets smell clean, and the air feels fresh. There's no phone buzzing beside you, no clothes draped over the chair, no clutter whispering for your attention. You lie down, close your eyes, and instantly feel your heartbeat slow. That's what healing feels like. That's what peace sounds like. Your mind stops fighting, your body releases the weight of the day, and your spirit begins to recharge. If you've been feeling drained, anxious, or disconnected, start by looking around your sleeping environment. Ask yourself, does this space invite rest or resist it? You might discover that small changes, removing gadgets, clearing clutter, or setting a calming bedtime atmosphere, create dramatic improvements in your energy and mood. Your environment either heals you or harms you. There's no in-between. When you take time to shape a peaceful space, you're not just decorating. You're creating a foundation for your body's restoration. So, remember this, your sleep environment shapes your energy and healing. The moment you decide to protect that space, to keep it sacred, you begin to unlock the kind of rest that restores your mind, renews your strength, and realigns your spirit. Peaceful sleep is not just a luxury, it's a divine design. Your body was created to heal, but it needs the right atmosphere to do so. Give yourself that gift. Create the space your soul can breathe in, and your body will thank you every morning. Have you ever wondered why, no matter how much you try to move forward, something keeps pulling you back to the past? You pray, you plan, you push yourself toward growth, but there's a heaviness that never seems to lift. What if I told you that some of that weight is not in your mind, but lying quietly in your room, hidden in plain sight, the objects you keep close to you, especially around your bed, carry energy. They hold memories, emotions, and vibrations that can either nurture your spirit or quietly drain it. Many people don't realize that they are sleeping beside their own pain, surrounded by physical reminders of what their heart has not yet released. Every item in your space tells a story, a gift from someone who once broke your heart, a photo from a season you've outgrown, a letter that once meant love but now represents loss. These objects seem harmless, even sentimental, but they carry emotional residue. Energy doesn't vanish, it transfers and lingers. When you keep these items near your resting space, you invite the emotions attached to them to stay active in your life. Your spirit cannot heal in a space that constantly replays old wounds. That's why you wake up feeling unsettled, drained, or heavy, even when nothing seems wrong on the surface. The energy around you speaks louder than words. Our surroundings are extensions of our inner life. The clutter on your bed, the stack of old clothes in the corner, the forgotten box of letters under the mattress, these are not just objects. They are emotional anchors. They tie you to moments you were meant to release. Holding on to them might feel comforting because they remind you of who you were or what you had. But in reality, they keep your spirit circling around what's gone. Healing can't come when your heart is surrounded by relics of pain. You cannot step into a new season if your space is still decorated by your old one. Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine walking into your room after a long day. You sit on your bed and notice a gift from an old relationship lying on the nightstand, and instantly a flood of memories surfaces, some sweet, some painful. Without realizing it, your mood shifts. Your mind drifts into the past. Your emotions awaken old wounds, and your peace is disturbed. That small object has just pulled you out of the present and chained you back to yesterday. This happens subconsciously, night after night, until you start to feel spiritually suffocated. Your bed becomes a battlefield between your healing and your history. Energy is real. Scientists may call it emotional association or environmental influence, but spiritually it's the same truth. The things you keep carry the vibrations of their past. Just as a piece of music can trigger a memory, an object can hold the emotional frequency of the moment it was created or received. That's why some rooms feel peaceful the moment you walk in, while others feel heavy even if they're perfectly clean. It's not just the look, it's the energy. To protect your peace, you must start curating your environment with intention. Ask yourself what each item near your bed represents. Does it remind you of love or loss? Does it carry peace or pain? Be honest with yourself. The process of letting go is emotional, but it's also healing. When you remove old, stagnant items tied to painful memories, you're not just cleaning your space, you're cleansing your spirit. Each act of release sends a powerful message. I am ready for new blessings. You're telling the universe that you've learned what you needed from the past, and now you're choosing freedom. It's amazing how quickly your energy shifts once you do this. The air feels lighter, your thoughts feel clearer, you breathe easier. That's because you've made room for peace. You've replaced the energy of attachment with the energy of openness. This is not just about tidiness, it's about transformation. You begin to realize that healing isn't always about doing more. It's often about letting go. Every time you clear a space that once held pain, you invite light to fill it. And where there is light, there is growth. Don't underestimate how deeply your physical environment influences your emotional state. When you sleep beside reminders of heartbreak, disappointment, or trauma, you're subconsciously reliving those emotions. Your body tenses, your mind drifts, your rest is disturbed. But when your surroundings are filled only with items that bring comfort, gratitude, and joy, your body enters true rest. Your nervous system relaxes, your dreams become clearer, and your mornings start lighter. So tonight, before you go to bed, take a quiet moment, look around your room and ask yourself, what here still holds a piece of my pain? Trust your spirit. It will tell you. Maybe it's a piece of jewelry, an old letter, or a photograph that no longer brings peace. Don't be afraid to release it. You're not erasing your past. You're freeing yourself from its weight. When you let go of what no longer serves you, you make space for what's meant for you. Sometimes the greatest act of self-care isn't what you buy, it's what you remove. Clearing out emotional clutter from your bed, and your space is like taking a deep breath after holding it for years. You'll feel lighter, calmer, and more in control. Your bed will once again become a true place of restoration, not a museum of memories. And as you sleep, you'll notice something miraculous, peace returning, dreams becoming gentle, and your energy rising again. Because when the past no longer sleeps beside you, your future finally has room to enter. There's something deeply powerful about walking into a room that smells clean, feels fresh, and radiates peace. It immediately changes your mood, your thoughts, and even your breathing. You can sense the difference between a space that's been cared for and one that's been neglected. It's not just about appearances, it's about energy. Cleanliness is a form of healing. When you keep your environment pure, especially the place where you rest, you create room for renewal, both physically and spiritually. Clean sheets, fresh air, and order around your bed don't just make your room look nice. They tell your body and mind that it's safe to rest, that it's time to let go, and that peace is welcome here. The connection between physical cleanliness and inner renewal runs deeper than most people realize. When your room is dusty, your air quality suffers, your breathing becomes heavier, and your body struggles to fully relax. You may not notice it immediately, but a messy or stale environment silently drains your energy. The body, even in rest, remains on alert when surrounded by disorder, but when your bed is clean, your sheets crisp, and your space fresh, your body naturally enters a deeper state of rest. The brain associates cleanliness with safety, and in that safety, your nervous system releases tension. Suddenly, you're not just sleeping, you're healing. There's something profoundly spiritual about the act of cleaning, too. It's not merely a task, it's a declaration. When you strip away the layers of dust and clutter, you are symbolically clearing away spiritual stagnation. In every sweep, every fold, every wash, you're saying, I refuse to live among disorder, I choose peace. That choice opens the door for new blessings to enter your life. You cannot invite abundance into a space filled with neglect. A clean environment attracts good energy, positive thoughts, and divine favor. When your bed is dirty or cluttered, it traps energy. Every piece of unwashed linen, every pile of clutter carries a certain vibration, usually one of tiredness and confusion. You might notice that you wake up irritable, restless, or unmotivated, even after a full night's sleep. That's because your environment hasn't allowed your spirit to rest. But when you wash your sheets, fluff your pillows, and open the windows to let fresh air in, you're not just maintaining hygiene. You're performing an act of spiritual renewal. That clean scent that fills the air doesn't only refresh your senses, it rejuvenates your soul. There's also a scientific side to this. Cleanliness impacts the hormones that regulate mood and rest. A tidy, well-kept environment lowers cortisol levels, the body's main stress hormone, while boosting serotonin, which promotes happiness and calm. That's why you feel instantly better when your bed is made or your room smells fresh. Your body responds to that order with gratitude. Clean air helps your lungs work better, your heart rate steadies, and your sleep cycles deepen. Your physical body begins to mirror the peace in your environment. Think about it. How can the body repair itself in a place filled with dust and disorder? Healing thrives in purity. The air you breathe at night becomes part of your bloodstream. The sheets that touch your skin communicate directly with your nervous system. The textures, the sense of order, all of it influences how your body restores itself while you sleep. That's why keeping your bed clean isn't just a matter of appearance. It's an act of self-respect. It's a way of saying, my rest matters, my peace deserves protection. When you lay on clean sheets, your senses relax, your mind becomes quiet. The day's worries begin to fade because your body understands that it's in a safe, nurturing space. That's when real rest begins. Your dreams become clearer, your sleep deeper, your spirit lighter. The next morning, you rise with renewed strength and sharper focus. The freshness of your environment carries into your mindset. You feel ready to move forward, ready to create, ready to conquer the day. It's the same in the spiritual realm. Just as physical dirt clouds your space, spiritual clutter clouds your energy. A dirty or neglected environment can block the flow of positive energy and blessings meant for you. You may pray for breakthrough, but if your environment is filled with stagnant energy, those blessings can't settle. Cleanliness acts as an open door. It invites divine presence. When your bed is pure and your space orderly, it becomes easier to hear God's voice, to feel peace, and to rest without anxiety. Many people underestimate how much the environment influences their emotional health. But take a moment and notice how your body reacts when you enter a room filled with clutter compared to a clean, organized one. Your heart rate changes, your breathing slows or quickens, and your mind becomes either calm or chaotic. This is not coincidence. It's proof that your surroundings and your spirit are intertwined. Cleanliness outside creates clarity inside. If your bed or room has been neglected, start small. Wash your bedding, spray your pillows with a light scent, and open your curtains to let sunlight in. Feel the difference it makes, not just to your eyes, but to your mood, your energy, and your sleep. Every clean space is a reflection of order within. Every time you make your bed, you're reminding your spirit that peace is a priority. The more you value cleanliness, the more peace you attract. A pure environment is an invitation for renewal, physically, mentally, and spiritually. It's a silent yet powerful way of saying, I'm ready for something new. Cleanliness doesn't just refresh your body, it refreshes your destiny. Because when your space is pure, your energy flows freely, your rest becomes sacred, and your blessings find no barriers. Have you ever noticed that when your room is messy, your thoughts feel scattered too? It's no coincidence. The space around you has a direct line to your mind, shaping your focus, your emotions, and even the quality of your sleep. A cluttered environment creates a cluttered mind. And when your bed, the place designed for restoration, is crowded with unnecessary items your brain can't fully switch off, it stays busy, restless, constantly processing the noise in your surroundings. You might lie there exhausted, staring at the ceiling, but your thoughts refuse to settle. That's because your environment is sending mixed signals. Your body is begging for rest, but your surroundings are whispering chaos. The human brain thrives on order. When it sees a clean, organized space, it interprets that as stability and safety. But when it sees disorder, piles of clothes, tangled cords, items scattered across your bed, it senses unfinished business. Subconsciously, your brain believes there's still work to do, that something is out of place. This keeps your stress hormones active and your mind alert even when you're trying to relax. That's why clutter doesn't just steal your space, it steals your peace. You may think it's harmless to keep a few things lying around, but every item out of place holds a fragment of your attention hostage. When you walk into a peaceful, tidy room, you can feel the difference immediately. Your shoulders drop, your breathing slows, and your thoughts become clearer. This isn't just psychological, it's biological. A clean environment lowers cortisol, the hormone responsible for stress, and promotes melatonin, which helps you fall asleep. Your brain stops scanning for visual threats and finally allows your nervous system to relax. That's why decluttering your bed and surrounding space isn't just about aesthetics. It's a form of mental hygiene. Just as your body needs rest to heal, your mind needs order to think clearly. Imagine this scenario. Your bed is covered with clothes, books, or electronics. You lay down to sleep, but your eyes keep drifting toward the pile beside you. Your brain registers each object, an unfinished task, a reminder, a distraction. Even if you try to ignore it, your subconscious keeps track of it all, preventing your mind from truly shutting down. But when your bed is clear, made neatly and free of distractions, your mind receives one clear signal: it's time to rest. That's when your body enters deep, restorative sleep, the kind that repairs cells, balances hormones, and renews your energy. The truth is, clutter affects more than your sleep. It influences your productivity and emotional balance. When your surroundings are chaotic, it's harder to make decisions and stay focused. The brain can only process so much information at once, and a messy environment constantly bombards it with unnecessary stimuli. You might feel unmotivated, anxious, or easily distracted without realizing why. Cleaning your space doesn't just tidy your room. It resets your mental operating system. Each act of organization gives your mind permission to focus on what truly matters. Decluttering also carries a spiritual message. A crowded space often reflects a crowded heart. Too many worries, too many unresolved thoughts. When you remove excess, you make room for peace. You're telling the universe that you're ready for clarity, ready for calm, ready for new blessings. A minimalist environment invites mindfulness. It gives your spirit space to breathe. You begin to notice small things again: the softness of the sheets, the stillness of the night, the rhythm of your own heartbeat. In that simplicity, you rediscover balance. There's a reason ancient wisdom across cultures emphasizes cleanliness and simplicity. From monasteries to healing centers, peaceful environments are always uncluttered. That's because simplicity sharpens awareness. When your space is quiet and clean, your mind becomes sharper, your prayers clearer, your rest deeper. Even modern neuroscience agrees. Visual clutter competes for attention, overloading your senses and increasing fatigue. When you clear your environment, you free your brain to focus on rest and renewal instead of constant processing. Think of decluttering your bed as a small, powerful act of discipline. It's a daily statement that says, I choose peace over chaos. Each time you make your bed, fold a blanket, or remove something that doesn't belong, you're reclaiming control over your atmosphere. That sense of control ripples into other areas of your life. You start thinking more clearly, managing your time better, and feeling more confident. When your environment is in order, your mind follows, and when your mind is at peace, your body naturally finds balance, even in the smallest details, like fluffing your pillow or aligning your sheets. You're sending your brain a message of care and consistency. These micro habits tell your subconscious that you value stability, and in return, your mental state begins to stabilize. Your mornings start with focus, your nights end with calm, and your days flow with more energy. You begin to live from a place of alignment rather than reaction. So the next time you feel mentally drained or spiritually heavy, don't rush to overthink the reason. Look around you. Look at your bed, your room, your surroundings. Ask yourself what's taking up space that should belong to peace. Then clear it. You'll feel the shift immediately, not just in your environment, but in your mind. Because when the space around you is calm, your thoughts become clear. When your bed is uncluttered, your spirit rests easier, and when you remove what doesn't serve you, you make room for everything that does. Sometimes the greatest transformation begins with something as simple as cleaning your bed. Have you ever wondered why some people wake up full of energy, clarity, and calm, while others rise feeling drained before the day even begins? The difference often lies not in how long they sleep, but in the quality of the space where they rest. Your bed isn't just a place to lie down. It's the center of your body's energy field, a silent engine that determines how well you recharge each night. The space you sleep in directly affects the energy that flows through your body and mind. When your resting space is calm, clean, and spiritually aligned, it becomes a magnet for peace, productivity, and divine flow. But when it's cluttered, chaotic, or neglected, that energy becomes blocked, and no matter how long you rest, you wake up feeling tired, unfocused, and spiritually disconnected. Energy is constantly moving around and within us. Every object, sound, and texture in your space contributes to this flow. Your bed, being where you spend nearly a third of your life, is one of the most powerful energy centers in your home. It's where your body repairs itself, your mind releases the weight of the day, and your soul reconnects with its higher rhythm. But when that environment is filled with distractions, whether it's piles of laundry, digital devices, or emotional clutter, the flow of energy becomes disrupted. Your body senses this imbalance even while you sleep. That's why you may wake up feeling unrested, as if something within you is unfinished. Your environment is silently shaping the way your body regenerates. A balanced resting space helps your body reset more efficiently. When your room is calm, your breathing naturally deepens, your muscles release tension, and your brain enters a state of healing. It's a scientifically and spiritually aligned truth. The environment determines the depth of your rest. The reason your productivity, focus, and emotional balance depend so much on your sleeping area is because rest is not just physical, it's energetic. When your energy flows freely during the night, you wake up recharged, focused, and inspired to take on the day. But when your resting space is filled with noise, clutter, or stagnant air, your energy stagnates too. You might think it's stress, diet, or schedule, but often it's the environment interrupting your natural rhythm of renewal. Imagine walking into a serene bedroom where everything feels intentional. The lighting is soft, the air is fresh, the sheets are smooth, and there's nothing unnecessary in sight. The moment you step in, your energy begins to settle. Your body feels safe. That's not imagination, that's energy alignment. The environment is telling your nervous system, you can rest now. And when the body receives that signal, it begins to restore itself on every level, cellular, emotional, and spiritual. But contrast that with walking into a room that's crowded, dim, and filled with random items. The air feels heavy, your thoughts begin to race, and even before lying down, your body resists relaxation. The difference isn't only visual, it's vibrational. Your bed should be treated like sacred ground. Every night when you lie down, your body is entering a cycle of healing, repairing cells, balancing hormones, processing emotions. If that sacred process happens in a disturbed environment, your healing becomes incomplete. You wake up tired because your spirit never truly rested, but when your space is intentionally prepared for rest, something shifts. Your dreams become clearer, your mornings lighter, and your thoughts more focused. You find yourself handling stress with more grace because your mind begins each day from a place of calm rather than confusion. The energy that flows from your resting place doesn't stop when you wake up. It follows you into your day. A peaceful sleep space produces peaceful energy throughout your morning, influencing your mood, creativity, and relationships. Have you ever noticed how much easier it is to think positively or respond calmly when you've had good rest? That's because your body isn't running on survival mode. Your system has been replenished, your mind has been organized, and your energy is clear. A chaotic environment does the opposite. It forces you to spend your mornings fixing the imbalance that should have been restored overnight. This is why being intentional about your resting space is a form of self-leadership. The way you treat your bed determines the way you treat your energy. When you make it a habit to keep your sleeping area pure, free of clutter and unnecessary distractions, you're training your body and spirit to value peace. That consistency builds momentum. Your brain begins to associate your bed with safety and restoration, triggering deeper sleep patterns and more creative wakefulness. You start waking up not just rested, but inspired. That's when you know your energy is aligned. There's also a spiritual truth woven into this principle. Divine blessings flow where there is order. Just as stagnant water breeds decay, stagnant energy blocks divine favor. When your space is pure and peaceful, it becomes a channel for abundance, healing, and insight. Your environment begins to work with you instead of against you. You'll notice small miracles, clarity in decisions, bursts of creativity, moments of joy appearing with ease. That's not random, it's the natural result of alignment. Take a moment to reflect on how your current resting space feels. Does it recharge you or does it drain you? When you walk into your room, do you feel peace rise or tension build? Your body already knows the answer. Begin to shift the energy. Open your windows each morning to let light and air in. Remove anything that feels heavy or unnecessary, and set the intention that your bed is a space of restoration and blessing. The more you protect that space, the more it will protect your peace. Your resting place determines the flow of your life. When it's in harmony, your days unfold with purpose and strength. When it's in disarray, even the smallest challenges feel heavier. But the power to shift that energy is already in your hands. By creating an environment that honors rest, you're not just decorating a room, you're designing the atmosphere that shapes your energy, your productivity, and your future. A peaceful bed creates a peaceful soul, and from that peace, everything else begins to flourish.